Hello, welcome to this week's energy series. We are Peyton, Corey, and myself, Yaila, and this week we are talking about things that deplete your energy or throw it off completely. So every week we come to you with a new video with different topics around energy, your ascension process, psychic tools, and we like to bring in our experience from the last decade of all of the work that we've been doing individually for ourselves, and now that we work with our clients and teach our students. So if these are things that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe to each of our YouTube channels, like, share, comment. We love to hear your feedback. So kicking off tonight, how about for you, Peyton? What would you like to talk about as far as things that either deplete your energy or throw it completely off?
This is, oh my God, such a great topic, especially for what we are just collectively in the middle of right now. And so when we decided we were going to chat about this, I popped in to ask my guides, what they thought was most important for light workers to know as they are watching us, of course, from a multidimensional perspective and seeing where we get thrown off a little bit and where we're able to hold our energy better. And so what they were telling me and what I noticed with my energy is that as light workers, anything we give our attention to affects our energy. And it's going to affect it either in a positive direction or it's going to affect it in a negative direction. And so the way my guides always sum it up to me is anything you take in affects your energy. And so the things that for me are depleting to my energy is at this point, the most important thing is sources of information. That is where I can get my energy just absolutely thrown out the window if I am not careful about the sources of information I am listening to. Whether that it might be things I'm seeing on social media, whether that might be things I'm seeing on TV, but anything where someone is telling us what is going on, we have to be super careful with right now because there is so much disinformation, misinformation, versions of the truth. And so by taking that information in, we make that our reality. And to me, that is affecting my reality and my vibration probably more than anything else. So for me, the first thing I come back to is being super careful. And we talked about this in our discernment video about how important it is to be careful with where you place your attention, because whatever we're placing our attention on, we are oftentimes, unless we're super careful, matching the energy of that. So unless you can hear all sorts of doom and gloom and still be happy, which most of us can't do, we have not reached that level of mastery yet. Being very careful with where you place your attention is my number one thing when I think about things that affect my energy, because there are so many scary stories out there right now, scary versions of reality. And if you are listening to them, marinating in them, even helping lots of clients who are dealing with really rough stuff right now, it's very easy to slip into making that your truth, believing that that is the only version of reality. And that can really kill your vibration faster than anything else. But for me, some other things that I pay attention to that can negatively affect my energy are the foods that I take in. Am I eating healthy, high vibration foods, or am I slipping into eating things that aren't so good for me? Denser, lower vibrational foods I can actually feel that affecting my energy. If I'm eating anything that is not, organic, clean, as clean as possible, those things can very easily affect our energy, but also the company that we are taking in, the people we are spending time with have a huge effect on our energy field. Are you spending time with people who are uplifting you and giving you energy? Or are you, like so many light workers are falling into right now, being drained by the people you are spending time with? And so that's a huge thing to take a look at, especially if you feel like you are energetically vulnerable right now, which so many of us do as we are trying to process these ascension energies and deal with the Schumann resonance and the solar flares. It can all be just something to watch if you're starting to feel off, what in your experience is draining your energy. So those are a few things that deplete my energy, at least as things are going right now. Keeping an eye on that information you take in, though, is probably my number one advice to people. So how about you, Corey? What depletes your energy?
Peyton, that was good. And I didn't even think about the foods, but that's absolutely definitely one thing that is energy depleting. Well, the world and the energy is so strong right now. And, as light workers, energy healers, teachers, all these things, we all know that we signed up for this. We're like, there's going to come a day where we're going to be helping a lot of people. And this is what we train for. It's like the Olympics. It feels like the Olympics right now. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. But it is draining. And I'm finding that, I can handle a lot. But what drains, what I'm seeing drain other people, my clients, is trying to keep up with the same pace that they've always kept up with. So putting out a lot of energy, I'm a type of person that in order to get energized, working out is really good. But I'm finding right now at this time that I'm putting out, like exercising, so much with my clients that when I go to work out, I can't work out as hard as I used to because I'm already depleted. So I'm finding that, a lot of my clients are running at so much energy because we're all in a survival mode on the planet right now. And so everybody's just revved up. So what's depleting is that, just that survival, high octane energy, and it's different if it's high octane where it's like laughing and giggling, but it's the fear and the survival that, and I've always been able to handle a lot of that, always. But on top of, so what depletes us is, like you said, Peyton, the solar flares. We've been having a lot of solar flares, and that's energy hitting the planet. And so it raises, the frequency of the planet, and it affects all of us. That's been very depleting. Though oftentimes for me, that when that vibration gets really high on the planet, that's when I get energized. It used to be that when the base rate, the Schumann resonance of the planet was at its base rate of 7.83, I had a lot of energy. But as I started doing a lot of energy work and getting rid of a lot of, my wounds and, the dense energy that was in my body, I find that when the Schumann resonance is at 7.83, I'm so tired. And when it runs higher, I've got a lot of energy. But in the environment, what is energy draining is being in the environment so much with that high survival, fear, energy. And so I've been finding that the quiet times, replenishing myself. And that includes, I loved what you said, Peyton, too, about, the television you watch or the information that you're getting. And, if I get overstimulated by too much information, it starts to deplete my energy. So like today, I noticed that I started listening to music that, that was happy, happy. And because I needed to replenish myself that way. And as light workers right now, even the light workers, as much work as we've done, are getting really, really depleted. And I never thought that I'd be that person, but I am. And it's okay. So taking time, I've been taking naps. So what depletes my energy is, the Schumann resonance. And honestly, I check the astrology in the morning. I run my energy. I check into the collective and prepare myself for the day. And know that if I check the Schumann resonance, or my body tells me what the Schumann resonance is, that I know that I might need to alter my day. But those are the things. And when I don't drink enough water, I get very depleted very fast these days by not drinking a lot of water. And so uh, I've had to run a lot more energy these days, because literally, actually just talking a lot has been depleting my energy as well. So, we could all use a lot more, compassion and love. That always helps when we send it out, and, get around people who can return that right now is really important, because the whole energy of survival and fear is so energy depleting, whether we want it to or not. So that's about all I have right now about that topic. So Yaila, what have you got
Well,
for us?
I definitely will second and third what both of you said. Obviously, the information you're getting, the people you're around, food, water, those are all big things to really pay attention to. Other things that I would add to that is what I've noticed in the past where I have felt the most burned out and drained is when I was doing things or saying yes to things that I really didn't want to do. There's a saying, stop saying yes to you hate. Stop saying yes to stuff you hate, because this is really, really depleting for our energy. We are majorly burned out. There's a quote that says, stress is working hard for somebody else's dream, and enthusiasm is working hard for your own. There is something to be said about putting your energy towards things that you genuinely have a connection to. And sometimes we're in conversations or situations that in the beginning it was in alignment, and now it's evolved to wherever it's evolved to. And sometimes it's just not really in alignment anymore. So I think as a collective right now, many people are being woken up to their true values, and what is draining for them is saying yes to stuff that's not in alignment, yes to things that they don't want to be saying yes to anymore. And going back to what you're saying, Corey, the fear, and then we kind of get in our head about, well, I can't say no now because I'm this far out. It's like, we always have a choice. There's always options. We live in a pure potential reality. And so we stop our natural intuition, and that actually starts to deplete our energy even more when we start telling ourselves we can't, no, there's no possible way, I'm stuck here. That's draining. That's so draining to your soul, to your energy, to your intuition, everything. So looking at those things that you're saying yes to that you don't really want to say yes to, I think is another great place to look at what is draining your energy. We can also go down rabbit holes. I've caught myself in the past just like scrolling through social media when I was, really needing to kind of go a little more inward to see like what was off, what was out of alignment. But we'll just kind of distract and like go off to, we'll watch something on TV, we'll scroll through social media, we'll kind of find these distracting things. And next thing you know, you're like, your brain is wired because you've been looking at a screen, but your energy is depleted and you actually haven't gained anything from that experience. And so looking at those places where you're kind of just like numbing out is also can be, not every single time, but can be very depleting for your energy. Sometimes we're being called to look inward and give ourselves that time and space to process whatever emotions need to come up, to gain whatever insights we need to gain. But then, we don't feel like doing it. And so we'll go down these distractions and then we feel even more depleted. So those are two really big things where I've caught myself in the past that really just deplete my energy. The last thing I would add that can really deplete your energy, very similar to, saying yes to things that you don't want. When you keep saying no to those inner callings, what you're saying no to yourself, it's like you have these kind of inner callings to explore something, to learn more about something, to reach out for something. But we keep telling ourselves no, we keep pushing it off. That procrastination, it's almost like that analysis paralysis that drains our energy too. So it's like stuff you're saying yes to, stuff you're saying no to, and stuff you're distracting yourself with would be the ones that I would add to what drains your energy besides what the two of you have already mentioned. But what else, ladies? What else comes to your mind as far as energy depleters, drainers, or just throws your energy off?
I love what you said, Yaila, about social media, because the past couple days I would just find myself going to pick up the phone just to get on social media like I do, start the scrolling. And my guides have actually been coming in and saying, put the phone down, put it down. And I'm like, oh my God, because it was like you were doing, I was just doing it as a distraction or to see what was going on. And what the guides are saying is it's time to go inside to figure out what is going on. You have everything you need inside, and putting your attention just out of habit on these external sources lets them dictate reality, lets them tell you what is truth. And they said it's such a slippery slope for people right now to be looking outside of themselves for knowledge, for their next steps, for anything. And so it's funny because I go for that phone and I'll hear the guides go, like put it down. So I think you're right on point with that. One last thing I would throw in is that I've seen some clients really struggling with, which really plays off what you were saying, Yaila, is trying to hold on to things that don't fit you anymore, whether that is old friendships, whether that is an old job. But if you are on your spiritual path, you've been growing and developing and raising your vibration. And so certain things just need to move kind of organically out of your experience. But I find a lot of people are really struggling right now with clinging to things that the universe is trying to separate them from for a reason, because they deplete, my client's energy. And people are finding it hard to let go, even though they know deep in their heart something doesn't fit them anymore. So I think that's another way that we can very easily kind of get drained, is when we're trying to hold on to things that don't fit us anymore. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you know what, and that also too, that's great, Peyton. And I just love you ladies. I just always love doing these conversations because I learn so much from both of you ladies, always, 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 always. And yes, that's what I've noticed too with clients is those distractions and trying to physically, work through things, whether it's over exercising, it's over gathering, with other people. And it is a time to go within right now. It really is a time to go within. And I've had, the opposite of you, Peyton, in some ways, is that I put my phone down and I've been just walking away from it. There's like, I just don't want to pick it up. And because I feel, I feel overstimulated because of the outer world, social media. And I'm seeing that a lot with my friends and with clients, that it's that old paradigm they're still trying to live, by, doing, going, doing, going, go, 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 go. And because the frequency of the planet and this is raising, it's more taxing. And that's why people too get sick, getting sick, because it's just trying to still be in the things that, that we all need to let go of, and that's one of them is the old paradigm, and finding a new way to be, and to do at this time. Me too. I mean, so everybody's like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's do. And I'm like, no, I need to stay in today. Self-care right now is, and always really, is really important, because it's easy to get depleted right now, just because the frequencies of the planet, period, are higher. And we've had a lot of solar flares. So it's already depletion.
I think too, just going through just a growth, we've talked about growth periods in a previous video, but when you're moving into a new chapter, next level in your progress. There's new insights. There's kind of like this that saying, it's darkest before the dawn. You kind of go through this shadow type period and you're in a growth period, and maybe you feel a little more anxious or depressed or just more tired. Going through growth period can feel like your energy is depleted, and just again taking that time within, looking within, trying to avoid those distractions, giving yourself that self-care, don't make yourself wrong for the process, will really help you bring your energy back and also bring in new insights for your next steps. So growth periods, even though they're a good thing, ultimately they're taxing on your energy system when you're going through them. And we're kind of in mid collective shadow period at the moment. So we're processing a lot individually and everybody. So go slow. Doing less is actually more beneficial at the moment. And you are your own guru. The answer is, like Peyton said, it's not out there. Like Corey said, it's not out there. It's inside. So, and ladies, any last comments before we wrap up? All set. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this week's topic on things that can deplete or drain your energy. Again, if you found this conversation helpful, you'd like to see more, be sure to follow each of our YouTube channels linked below. Connect with us on all of our social media, also linked. And of course, we always appreciate your likes, your shares, your comments, saves, tagging your friends who you think might find this helpful as well. We'll see you next week for our next topic. See you then. Bye.